Hello, Oceanside TV, and I have one of my faves, Sage Wheeler.
Hello.
And I want to introduce you to her quickly, but there's so much that she has to offer. We've been working together for almost 2 years now. She came as a patient. I'm allowed to say that.
Yes, she is.
And had some physical symptoms which she didn't really recognize because she was not a fan of conventional medicine, didn't feel like it gave her what she needed, like many of our clients. And so shared with me some of the coaching strategies that she works with. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is such a great offering to combine some of the neuroscience and then rebooting, re-networking that we're trying to do all the time, but provide some experiential tools, which I'm just using big words. There's so many cool things that she does.
And fun and safe.
So I'm going to let Sage give you kind of like just rattle off some of the tools. Her umbrella is a coach, but so much more than a coach, has so much education and background. Why don't you tell us, some of the tools that you use in your practice?
So like you said, my overarching theme is life coach, and under that umbrella, I utilize the tools of Martha Beck life coaching, somatic experiencing, which is a trauma healing modality, and the 4-dimensional wheel, which is the work of Dr. Gina Ogden. And I'm also a yoga teacher. So my sessions that I offer people are really very multidimensional. And my goal being to create a safe environment that really meets the client where they're at and inquires into, what works, what are their resources, and starting to build a safe environment where we can explore mentally, what are their beliefs that they may or may not be aware of that might be inhibiting their healing. What physically, what's happening in the body, and utilizing that inner GPS, that body awareness
which is hard for a lot of people.
Yes.
A lot of people that we work with, we say, "Do you feel this?" And they look at us like we have 3 heads. Like, feel what? I've spent so much time not feeling, or trying to avoid or dissociate.
Yeah, because managing pain, there's a lot of that.
That I don't feel anything but pain, or I feel nothing. And so there's a lot of layers to that when that's the overarching symptom is feeling or not feeling.
Yeah, and so finding our way back to understanding, what are our thoughts, understanding our feelings, our sensations, understanding emotions, and understanding spiritually, our meaning and purpose, and how those weave in to be sort of the backdrop of what the symptoms are that landed us at Oceanside in the first place, and then finding our way together, collaborating to find more resources, more healing, using the variety of tools. And it changes session to session. Some things are more experiential, sometimes more conversational, educational, reframing our understanding of experiences, or healing from traumatic events that have happened. But first and foremost, what's important is that that you feel safe, you feel respected, you feel heard and listened to, because that's really the foundation of any work that's going to help you move to the place where you want to get to.
I think what I love about Sage's work is that anytime there's a pain or an event, it's an experience, and so there's multiple sensations that go into that experience, whether you're conscious or unconscious of them. So, say you're in a car accident, the sound, sight, smells that were there that you probably weren't aware of, all actually may still trigger pain, for example. So to heal then, there's the physical piece of what happened to your tissues in your body, but there's the imprint on your brain from that experience. And it doesn't have to be a car accident. It could be childhood. It could be just the trauma of a delivery, or the stress of an event. Or I hear all the time that symptoms elevated around a stressful event, and those kind of become imprinted, networked together in the mind. And so
we call it overcoupled. They get sort of wound.
They get wound together. They have words. We have words.
We have words.
We have neuroscience words. They have feely words. It all works together. But I think what I've seen is for the clients that have been open to Sage's work have really just opened up, and I see such fundamental changes in the way they think and their mindset. There's really a huge mindset shift that happens. And, it can happen a lot of different ways, but I think what I see is people come in and are open to it, and they're moving, and they're thinking, and they're talking, crying. All of those things happen at once, and there's just a huge shift that happens. And so then maybe you'll be more receptive to the therapy, or maybe you feel something, or maybe that was the barrier to healing. And nothing's a fix. It's a slow process. But I really think that some of this work is just so much more dynamic than you can't just have an exercise or just talk or just a pill. They all might be helpful, and that's why we really promote a team approach and finding your healing team, and really making those decisions yourself. And like, do you connect with this work, or does this sound interesting to you? Because there's no reason, if it sounds crazy, you're going to come in with walls up. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to connect. There's other avenues. But if this sounds interesting, if you've done some talk therapy, if you've done some physical therapy, and you're just not getting anywhere, I think that's why we've started to step outside the box, and we said, I know why it's not working. It's not as experiential. It's not understanding the emotions, the feelings, the thoughts all together that happen with any experience. And so I really see this as, I don't know, it's just a dynamic way to find what is going to help you heal, or maybe where some of those barriers are.
Yes, the acknowledging the totality of the experience. And I understand, and when people come in, things that would work for one person isn't going to work for another. And so really our job, both whether you're seeing Kristen as PT or me as a coach, is to start where you are at and collaborate and work together to, in my case, it's, and Kristen's too, is slowing down everything and teasing apart what are the factors that contribute to the increase in your pain or the decrease in your pain. And then we spend a lot of time in my sessions teasing apart what are the resources, what helps you feel better, and giving the body time to really soak those in, so that there's a felt sense of safety, a felt sense of well-being. And I love the informal definition of trauma is too much, too soon, too fast. So in sessions, it's really about starting where you're at, taking a very little bit and working with it slowly at the pace that you want in order to heal. And because your body knows how to heal, and with the support of PT, with the support of coaching and reframing and looking at our thoughts and looking at what's happening in the body and what emotions, giving space and respecting the emotions that arise, and looking at sort of purpose and meaning in your life, that then things can begin to settle and heal in ways that are outside the conventional model.
And what I love about it too is that it respects the uniqueness, and that's, your brain is like a fingerprint. It's so unique. So when you go to a provider and say, oh, let me look up which category are you in, there isn't a really good category, so there isn't a pill to respect your brain, because your childhood was a certain way, your relationships are a certain way, your belief systems, and it's just a part of that healing process and that mindset. And so taking some of these tools and saying, hey, maybe journaling. Have you ever journaled? And let's walk the wheel and let's talk about this. There's just so many tools and strategies, and I'm a big fan of coaching and having somebody. It might not even be rocket science. It's just having someone else help you work through it and make you aware of certain things that we have really disassociated from. And I think that's really kind of where the magic happens. And so it's not like a one-trick pony or one tool, but it's really the experience and the connection and the continuous work to just say what next and what am I feeling and what am I thinking. Yeah.
And then, and over the course of time, as the guide and the facilitator in the coaching sessions, I can map things and make connections in ways that people haven't often considered before that make sense and land your awareness and your understanding in a new place that provides a sense of relief and joy and purpose.
And it does. It's like, oh gosh, this feels great, or this was like, I didn't think about this. And it just provides a path, I would say. Mm-hmm. There's some guidance. So.
And people can learn more by going to my website, SageWheeler.com. And there's a brief description of the different tools so you can get a better understanding.
And Sage will have a phone conversation with you.
Yes.
And Sage right now is here once a month, but the more the merrier. And we always are evolving and coming up with different ideas to reach out and help your healing journey. So I think Sage is a great resource, and she's been phenomenal for Oceanside clients, and let us know if you think Sage can be part of your team.